Hi, Hannah. Hi, Rachel. Hi, Emily. Hi, Zahara and Zion. Who else is in here? I think I got everyone for now. Guys, I'm sorry that you couldn't hear me. I was talking and saying all these things, but anyways, we're jumping into week 2 of justice and racism. Both words that we might have heard a lot of this week, but we're not really sure what they mean sometimes, and we're not really sure what that means for us as kids. And today, we're going to be talking about how we can make a stand. So how we can stand up and say, hey, you know what? I don't believe that that's fair. I don't think that's right. And you know what? We can do this because Jesus did it first. Jesus saw the things that we were doing, and he said, hey, that's not right. And he made a stand, and he said something. So we're going to learn from him. But before we do, how are you guys doing? How has your week been? What are you guys up to? What did you do today? Hannah, I know you have a pool, so I'm wondering if you went swimming today. I did not go swimming today. I do not have a pool. If I wanted to go swimming, I think I would have to fill up like a garbage can of water and then just like dunk myself in the garbage can. Like that would be my pool, I guess. I don't really have a pool, but I did take my dog for a walk and it was so pretty outside. So I love being outside, especially when it's like this outside. What did you guys do? Awesome. We have Chloe and Chase here. Hi guys. We've got so many different people here. That's so awesome. I'm so glad that you guys are here and that we're going to start our week 2 of this. Right, we're gonna jump in just a second, and like I said, we're gonna be talking about how we can make a stand. How we as kids, sometimes we don't feel like we have enough power, or we don't have a loud enough voice, but we do, and we can make sure that we're making a stand and we're saying, hey, you know what? I don't think that's okay. I don't think it's okay for us to do that, or to say that, or to treat these people differently. It was Emily's birthday yesterday. That's right. Happy birthday, Emily. Guys, throw in your emojis, say happy birthday to Emily. But while you guys do that, I have a little clip of a YouTube video that I want you guys to see. So we'll watch that and then we'll come right back, okay? All right, give me 1 second. Let me see if I can do this.
There are lots of ideas how you can change the world. Some people think you should just complain about it. That won't change the world, it'll just make it mad. Some people think you have lots of money, make it rain everywhere you go. Holla for $1. Some people think you have to be really loud and yell a lot. It's like with a bullhorn shouting, hey you, get my way right now, you heard? Other people choose to just make fun of everything. That's dumb, everyone's dumb. It's easy to make fun of stuff, but it's cooler to make stuff. Some people think changing the world can only be done by the smartest person in the world. Just put them in a room, let them figure it out. The solution of world hunger? Food. Wow, that was like so amazing. Some people see the bad in the world and they just decide to ignore it, but that won't help anything. Some people think you have to be really famous and super cool. In fact, lots of people think you have to be really powerful to make a difference, like being mayor or senator or president. But the truth is, a title doesn't make you more important. The world is changed by you. It's one person filled with love, and they just have to live it out, so they do something awesome. Then that person is filled with love, and they do something awesome. It just goes on and on and on and on. And the next thing you know, everything's awesome. Some people think it's impossible to change the world.
It's impossible to change the world.
Well, you can see why they could think that. Living in the world with kids who are hungry, people who are homeless, families who aren't happy. I'm just trying to figure it out like everybody else, man. I do know this, though. Next time you feel overwhelmed or totally alone, remember this. Things don't have to be the way they are. The world is changed by ordinary people. Little people living out big love. And that's what gives the world a reason to dance. So, how do we change the world? At the start of this year,
Okay, Hey guys, I wanted to stop it there because he goes on and talks about a different video that he played, but that was the most important part. And one of the most important things that he says in that video, which I think is so big for us, is little people living out big love. Can we be little people living out big love? And the thing that scares us sometimes is, like he said, like the kid president said, we feel like we have to be a super important person or really cool or have a loud voice to make a change, but that's not true. We don't have to. And in fact, you don't even have to use your voice to make a stand. You can do so many other things. So we're going to read this book right now. And then at the end, we're going to talk about it a little bit. And then I have a little bit of a project that I want us to do. And we're going to talk about that, okay? So this book is called Say Something, okay? I'm going to take this sleeve off because it slides around. Okay, so it says a whole bunch of things, actually. But the book is Say Something by Peter Hamilton Raymond. The world needs your voice. Me? Yes, yours. Go ahead. It doesn't need to be perfect as long as it comes from the heart. You don't have to be loud. Powerful words can be a whisper. You can say something in so many ways, with words, with actions, with creativity. If you see someone's lonely, you can say something by just being there for them. If you see an empty canvas, you can say something with a brush. If you see an empty lot, you can say something by planting a seed and watching it bloom. If you see someone being hurt, you can say something by being brave. Hey, stop. If you see something beautiful, you can say something with a poem. And right here it says, painted meadows splashed with rainbows. If you have a brilliant idea, you can say something with confidence. Eureka! If you want to show the world who you are, you can say it with style. If you're angry, you can say something to help somebody understand. You made me feel invisible. That really made me hurt. I'm really sorry. If you see injustice, say something peacefully. And he's holding up a sign here that says, no more hurting people, peace. Inspire others to do the same. Sometimes you'll say something and no one will be listening. But keep saying what's in your heart, and you'll find someone who listens. Keep saying it, and you may be surprised to find the whole world is listening. If you are grateful for being alive, quietly say something to the stars, to the universe, and to God. Some people find it easier to say something than others, but everybody has something to say. So when you're ready, say something. Your voice can inspire, heal, and transform. Your voice can change the world. Are you ready to say something? And isn't it cool that all these boxes, when we started at the beginning, all the boxes were full with things to say, and now at the end, they're empty. They're ready for you guys to fill in what you're going to say. Rachel, I see that you said that you're having a hard time seeing me. Is anybody else, am I frozen to anybody else, or is everybody okay with seeing me? Emily says she can see me okay. Let me know if I'm frozen. Okay, Emily says it's okay. So guys, this book shows us that we can say something in so many different ways. Now, here's what's really cool. God made all of us so differently, didn't he? He made me different from you, and you different from your siblings and your brothers and sisters or your aunts and uncles. We're all different, and we all have different special talents and gifts. And we can say something with those talents and gifts. We don't all have to say the same thing, and we don't all have to say it in the same way. For example, some of you, if you're watching the news with your parents, or if you know what's happening here, you might have seen a lot of people gathering with signs, and sometimes they're all shouting the same thing. That's what's called a protest. And right now in this season, and the reason that we're having this conversation is because the world is angry. People are angry, especially Black people are angry that they're being treated differently because of the color of their skin. So lots of different Black people have gathered together, and they are doing what's called a protest. So they hold up signs and they walk down the street and they say things like Black Lives Matter, and they say things like that because they want people they want to make a stand. That's how they're saying things. But other people are doing different things. And sometimes protests seem scary to some people. Maybe you don't like big crowds, or maybe the loud noises kind of scare you, and that's okay. You don't have to go to a protest to say something. We can say it in so many different ways. So I have a little project for you guys. In light of everything that's happening around the world, we're understanding that a lot of it is targeted around racism. And last week we talked a little bit about racism and what that was. And we learned that racism is basically treating somebody differently because of the color of their skin. Isn't that crazy to think? But that's what happens. Some people treat other people differently because their skin is darker and they look different. And this doesn't only happen for Black people. It happens for all types of people. And I said last week, it's happening right now, and a lot of people that are Black are protesting and using their voice. But it also happened a couple of months ago, and still continues to happen with COVID-19. And anybody that looks Asian, because the virus came from China, if you looked Asian, people were mean to you and they treated you differently. And they were hurtful. And that's racism too. And it happened to people that look Asian in that situation. And now it's happening to people that look like they're darker skin, like my skin, or lighter than me or darker than me. And that's not okay. And guys, Jesus told us that we are to love everybody, regardless of the color of their skin, regardless of how we talk or the language that we use. He told us to love everyone always. And it's really important that if we see that somebody's not doing that, and somebody's not being nice to somebody because of the color of their skin, or because of the way they talk, or because of their family looks different, we have a job as Christians and as people who love Jesus to stand up and say something. And like I said, that doesn't have to be using your voice. You can just come beside your friend and sit with them, or you can write your friend a poem, or you can make a beautiful picture. Or if you're not good at art and you're not good at words, but you're really good at running, you can say, you know what, I'm going to run today and I'm going to make sure I run my hardest. And I'm going to say that I'm going to run my hardest for all the people who are being treated differently. There's so many ways that we can say something. So here's what I want you guys to do in the chat right now. If you guys, I want you guys to tell me what you think you're good at. So if you're really good at playing sports, if you're really good at like writing a song or a poem or dancing, I want you guys to write what you're really good at in here. Okay, so we're going to start with that first. And then I get a little bit of a project for you guys. Okay, so tell me what you're really good at doing. For me, oh, you know what? Hold on. I want to come to a little comment here. Rachel's commenting, and when I was talking about how people treat each other differently because of the color of the skin, and she said that is unfair. Rachel, you are so right. It is completely unfair, and it doesn't make sense sometimes. When you think about it, it just doesn't really make sense. And I know that it's something that bothers a lot of people around the world. People say, that's not fair. That doesn't make sense. Like, why would you do that? And you know what? I know it really, really bothers God, because God made me like this. He made me to have this kind of color of skin, and he made you to have the color of skin that you have. He wanted us to look different, but on the inside, we're basically the same. Like I said last week, I have lungs, you have lungs, I have blood, you have blood. We all have the same things on the inside. And it's not fair that we're treated that differently. And when we find that there are things that aren't fair, it's our job to stand up and say, you know what? That's not how Jesus would want us to love people. So tell me what you guys are really good at, okay? So, okay, awesome. I've got Zahara and Emily said, if you're still in here, tell me some things that you guys are good at, okay? Okay, Zahara said she's really good at gymnastics. Awesome. Emily says, I think I'm good at Lego, hip hop, babysitting, and singing, and baking, and engineering, and building, and gymnastics. Okay, so Emily, you're good at everything. Hannah says she's really good at golf. Ariana said she's good at art and dancing. Josiah said he's really good at sports. Perfect. Okay, so, Aaliyah says she's good at singing and dancing. Okay, so this is what I'm gonna ask you guys to do. I want you guys to say something using the things that you're really good at. And I want you to make a video, or if you're going to make a video, you're going to write something, I want you to send it to me. And what we're going to do is together as kids, we are going to make a stand for racism. We're going to say, you know what? That's not fair. We don't like how we don't like how you're treating other people differently because of the skin, or I don't like how you're treating me differently because of the color of my skin. And this is something that I have to deal with too. And I'm an adult, but I had to deal with it as a kid, and I still deal with it as an adult. People treat me differently because of the color of my skin. So I'm going to find a way to stand up and say something, and I want you guys to do the same too. Next week is our last week together. And what we're going to do is when you guys send me in your videos of you saying something, I'm going to put them all together and we're going to watch them together. And I had a talk with Pastor Jonathan, and he really wants us to show it to the whole entire church. He wants the whole church to hear your voices. And again, your voices don't have to be your physical voices. You can do it in any way. So let's take a look here. Zahara, you say you're really good at gymnastics. So Zahara, why don't you this week pick a song that you like, think about a routine, and do the routine and say, this is a routine that I made to express how I don't think racism is fair and I don't like it. So you can make a whole routine and film it and send it in. Emily, I'm going to pick only one of your things, okay? You said you're good at Lego. So Emily, what you could do is you could make something with Lego, or you could do, like, you know how we have those Bible videos that have the Lego people? You can make a little story with using Lego. Ariana, you said you're really good at art and dance. So you could do both, or you could do one. You could say, you know what? I'm going to paint a picture, and I'm going to make this a picture of something that explains how I feel about this and how I don't think it's right. Josiah, you said you're really good at sports. So Josiah, what you could do is you could maybe say, okay, today I'm playing soccer with all my friends, or today I'm going to my soccer game, or I'm going to play soccer outside, and I'm going to play my hardest, and I'm going to remember every single time that I get a goal, I'm going to remember that I'm taking a stand, and I'm not okay with what's happening around this world. And what else do we have here? Gymnastics. Chloe says gymnastics and drawing. Perfect. So Chloe, the exact same. You can make a gymnastics routine and do it in your backyard, or do it in the park and film it and send it in, or you can draw something. Chase said basketball. Perfect. So Chase, what you could do is you can say, okay, I'm going to film myself, and I'm not going to stop. I'm not going to leave this court until I get 5 baskets in the net. And every single basket that I get in the net, I'm going to remember that I'm not okay, and I'm saying something using the talents and using the skills that I have. So guys, we can do this, and it doesn't have to be the way that everybody else is doing it, because God didn't create us all the same. He created us all differently. He created us to look differently, to have different talents, but he also created us to ultimately be the same. So the bottom line today, guys, the bottom line is this: Jesus made a stand, so can I. Jesus made a stand, and he stood up for people that were being treated differently. And he said, hey, that's not okay. I don't like how you're treating that woman. I don't like how you're treating that man. I don't like how you're doing that. And he made a stand, and he told people that he wasn't okay with that. So I want us to do that too. And I'm going to do it too. I'm going to find a way. I really like singing. So maybe what I'm going to do is I'm going to sing a song, and I'm going to sing a song, and maybe we'll put it together with your slideshows too, and then we can see it. Okay. But the most important thing for us guys is remembering our bottom line. Jesus made a stand, so can I. Jesus did it first. Jesus saw all the things that were being done to people, and he said, that's not okay. And he made a stand, and we can too. And I know it's sometimes scary. And like the book said, you might say something, you might draw something and put a lot of energy to it. Or Chase, you might think about all those dunks and all those times you put the hoop in, and you tell people, every time I make a hoop in, I'm standing up for what I think is wrong. And you might do all that stuff, and nobody's listening or nobody's paying attention. And that might happen, and that's okay. But what the book says is, don't stop. Don't stop making noise. And whatever way that looks, whatever way you make noise, don't stop doing it, because Jesus wants us to make sure that we love everybody always, no matter what. So that's important. Our bottom line, Jesus made a stand, so can I. And I want us all to remember that we can be little people living out big love, right? I'm going to type that in here because I think I'll type out our bottom line too. Bottom line, who can type it before me? Who's fast enough? Bottom line is Jesus. Who's faster than me? I'm waiting. Jesus made us. Oh no, my caps are on. Made a stand. So can. My caps are on again. So can I. Okay, I think I beat everybody. Yep. Remember this. Oh, Rachel, you were so close. Wow, Rachel, you're a fast typer. Oh, we had someone else say, oh, yeah, okay, you guys are fast. Remember this, little people. Let's do the little people one. Little people living out big love. Awesome. There you go. Okay, guys. So I'm going to put my email in here because I want you guys to send me your ways of making a stand or saying something, okay? Wow, Chase, you were quick. Hey, Emily, you were quick too. Awesome. Wow. You guys are fast typers. I am such a slow typer, but whatever. Okay, guys, so it's really important that we do this and that we feel like we have the power to do this. Because I know that sometimes when we think that we're kids, we feel like nobody will listen to what we have to say and nobody will hear if I'm uncomfortable or if I don't like something, but I'm listening. Pastor Jonathan, who leads this whole church, he's listening. He wants to hear your voice. He wants to hear the youngest person on this chat right now. He wants to hear what you have to say. So make sure you're sending those videos in, and we're going to all look at them together. I'm going to make a slideshow. I'm going to put them all together. We're going to look at them together next week, okay? All right, guys, I'm going to pray, and then we can go about our week, okay? Rachel, I see that you sit in the chat room. Yeah, Rachel, I see that you're saying in the chat room that you're sad and you don't like what's going on. So Rachel, in the chat room, I just put my email in there, okay? Can you send me an email tonight? And I think what we can do, Rachel, is it's hard for us to talk together on the chat because we can't really talk to each other, but I'm going to give you a call, okay, Rachel, and we can talk through some things. So copy my email there, and then you or your dad can send me an email and we'll talk together, okay? Okay, and anybody else that wants to do that, anybody else who has a lot of questions and wants to talk, you guys can do that, okay? Okay, let's pray really quick, and then Pastor O'Shea has to come and teach the youth, okay? Okay, here we go. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Let's pray. Dear Heavenly Father God, everything that's happening around this world is hard for us to understand, and it's hard for us as kids to not feel sad and not feel frustrated and not feel confused, God. Some of this stuff just doesn't make sense in our minds and it's weird. But God, I pray that you help us, God, understand that you are a God that loves every single person, regardless of our skin color, regardless of the way we talk or look or dress, God. You love us all no matter what, God. And I pray that as we grow up to be leaders, God, that we remember that we remember even if somebody looks different than us, you love them as much as you love us. So God, help us remember that, Father, and help us remember that because your son, Jesus, came to this earth and he stood up for people that were hurting and sad, we can make a stand too. And our stands look different depending on who we are and what we think that we can do, God. So we thank you for that, God. We remember that because Jesus stood, we can stand too. And we remember that we are little people living out big love. So God, thank you for today. And I pray all these things in your wonderful name. And all God's children said, amen. Awesome. Okay, guys, I love you all. If you have any questions and you want to talk to me, email me and we'll have a great conversation, okay? Bye for now. See you later.